And we're back to bottom, but he's Beast, and today we're back with more IroSekai. Hold on, there you go. Before I continue, I feel the need to talk about something. Namely that, like I said, I had, actually, I think I forgot to upload that video now that I think about it. I actually have to check real quick. I'm pretty sure I fucking just straight up forgot to actually upload it. Yep, did. I forgot to upload it. Oh well. Essentially, the reason why I didn't record on Thursday was because I literally, after barely fucking sleeping at all that from the night between Wednesday to Thursday, I woke up at like, I don't even know when I woke up. The only thing I know is that I literally could not bring myself to move a fucking muscle until like 6 p.m. even after I woke up. So yeah, I didn't record that day out of sheer just, oh my fucking god, today is not my day. And then on Friday, I didn't record because, like I said, we had a like I said as if, yeah, the video was uploaded. Because we had a family get together, like a little barbecue family get together. And I went to that, and essentially, on the drive home, it was just my brother was driving, I was on the passenger seat, and my mother was on the back bench. And I don't know what we actually, it was something about along the lines of like moving out early, and that somewhat developed into like love of me and my brother and our loverless status, and that just for some reason ended in my mother being like, you know what, I can imagine you, like, I can imagine that you're gonna eventually start attracting older women, and I just sit there like, oh, I mean, fucking out of nowhere, but I mean, I guess it makes sense, 'cause, like, I had a girlfriend that was like 4 to 6 years older than me. It was 4, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, and it would fit my whole, yes, her teacher lady running gag. But then she just let out like, oh, well, if that happens, make sure she's a doctor or a doctor or a lawyer, so you don't, because then you won't have to work a day in your fucking life. And I'm just sitting over here like on the passenger seat, having to like mentally process the fact that my mother just encouraged me to get a sugar mama. So yeah, that was a weird fucking day. Anyways, Kana and I found a quiet, secluded spot away from the main street, then gaze up at the sky. So, what do you think, Kana? It was your first time experiencing a festival outside of your world. Was it fun?
はい、楽しかったです。とってもとっても。
She replies, her eyes focused on the fireworks illuminating the night sky.
わたあめに、りんご飴に、焼きそばに、たこ焼きに。どれもとても美味しかったです。
And we don't talk about the fish.
そして最後には打ち上げ花火。今日という日は素敵な思い出になりそうです。
I'm glad to hear it. For a brief while, the two of us simply look up at the fireworks in silence.
手をつなぐ。デートをする。今の私たちはちゃんと正しい段階を踏めているでしょうか。
But Order, what does she mean by that?
はい。焦りもせず、急ぎもせず、一足飛びもせず、ちゃんと順序を守った正しい関係を踏まえてい けているでしょうか。
What relationship do you mean?
それはチューしたりする間柄ってことです。
Oh, right.
どうでしょう、私たち間違ってますか？
Well, honestly, I don't know. Not even quite sure what spurred this question.
これまでの私は少し大胆だったというか、考えなしに行動をしすぎていたように思うんです。
Such as?
旦那様だと呼んだり、一緒の寝床で寝てみたり、パンツをあげますとか言ってみたり、私ユマさんと付き合うための正しい段階を1段も2段も3段も一足飛びで駆け上がろうとしていたみたいです。ちょっと普通じゃなかったですよね、私は。いい？
You only now realized this? I'm flabbergasted.
だって私ユマさんとの約束を守らないとって必死だったんですもん。
Ah, right. Promise. Promised to teach me about love. She promised she would fall in love with me in order to do that.
つい前日にはチューしちゃいましたし、ユマさんからまだ好きの一言ももらっていなかったのに。だけど今日の私は正しいですか？急いだり焦ったりドキドキしたりして何か間違ったりはしていないですか？
Well, I'm no expert, so I don't know what exactly is considered the norm, but I think you're doing fine. The conversation reaches a pause and we watch the fireworks in silence for a short while.
ユマさん。
Yeah?
ですね、まだユマさんから大好きの言葉をもらっていないままですけど。
She squirms as she speaks.
今日はチューしてくれないんですか？
I pretend Kana never said anything.
何ですかそれ？
They then opt to flee the scene. Hey, don't cry, I was just joking! I wasn't meaning to tease her, I'm just too embarrassed. That's the truth. She snuffles.
それならチューしてくれます？
Oh yeah, I got like 3 mosquito bites today. Just today. Actually, it's not just today. I did get one here, and one here today. But this one's a bit older. We do have like this weird anti-mosquito bite stick now, which is essentially you turn it on, press the button, you hold it to the mosquito bite for like 3 seconds, then it beeps, and then you take it away. The important thing is you have to hold it for the 3 seconds. You aren't if you take it away before the 3 seconds are over, it won't be as effective because this motherfucker uses heat and it is hot. Especially if you use it 3 times in a fucking row. Just don't tell me you'll cry if I say no.
いません。私は泣いたりしないんです。
Alright, I forgot. You don't cry, Kana. I gather my courage. I tell myself that it's my turn to be brave today. MCG. Against back with the fireworks in the night sky, I kiss her lightly. Of course, no CG. Fireworks have now ended. I have no idea how many hundreds were fired, but it was over before we knew it. Kana and I stand stock still among the throngs of people heading home.
静かですね。
She mutters softly. Yeah. To which I nod.
真っ暗ですね。
She murmurs quietly. Yeah. To which I agree. Then silence. The festival is concluded. But we don't want to go home just yet. Sentiment lingers in the air between the two of us.
ユマさん。
Yeah?
今日はこれから寮に戻って、それから二人で
As she speaks that word, our dark surroundings are suddenly enveloped in a bright light. What's that? Could possibly be another round of fireworks. It was... No! Oh, just a seekling. The butterfly evocation was a seekling belonging to Arashiyama Hall's manager, Kirishima Shigure. Butterfly lands upon Kana's chest and begins to glow brighter. She and I stand in front of her room 101. We've just returned from the festival.
とても楽しかったです。お祭り、また来年も一緒に行けたら私、幸せです。
She smiles warmly.
ユマさん
There seems to be something hidden behind her smile. Is that simply my imagination? Kana,
はい。
you alright? You constantly ask her that. You mentioned that Shigure was searching for your mother's whereabouts, right? Whereabouts, not where she's living. Kana must already know the truth. Her mom is more than likely no longer in this world. And signaling that Shigure sent out for Kana returned, carrying the truth on its wings. Are you sure you want to look at the Seekling's findings alone?
はい。心配してくれてありがとうございます。でも、問題ありません。大丈夫です。管理人さんはおっしゃっていました。この力は探し物は得意でも探し物は不得意なんだって。それに特定の場所を探し出すのも苦手だとそうおっしゃっていました。
But, Kana
間に合って
continues.
よかった。ありがとうございます管理人さん。思っていたよりもずっと早かったです。
Her mother's whereabouts. Right now, Kana holds a folded piece of paper in her hand. From what Shigure tells me, he always carries that paper around with him. It acts as a medium for the butterfly evocation to return to. That being away, he gave it to Kana. The answer to Kana's question of her mother's whereabouts is written on that paper right now. Let me ask again, are you really sure that you want to read that paper by yourself?
はい。ユマさんがそばにいてくれれば心強いですけど。だけどこれだけは私一人で確認しなくちゃいけないような気がするんです。
I'm anxious. Something about the smile she's putting up seems strained. I'm fine. Everything's all right now that I have you support to support me. That's what she promised me. But is she truly all right? It isn't hard to imagine what's written on the slip of paper. She reads it and knows for certain what happened to her mother. When she falls into a deep pit of depression again, will I be able to make her smile again if that happens? On her left hand, all of a sudden I smell a disinfectant-like smell wafting through the air.
心配してくれてありがとうございます、ユマさん。でも本当に大丈夫ですよ。信用してくれませんか、私のこと。
No, it's not that I...
帰ってきたこの結果がどんなものであっても、私はもう自分を軽く扱ったりなんかしませんから。
You just...
約束です。
You just, after she says that, I promise, just like... I'll go guard the lighthouse. Alright. You promised, so I believe you.
はい。それでは、またお夕飯の時に。
Yeah. Time in a certain town flows at a different rate than in ours. Hence, it's only early evening in our world at the moment. She closes the door and withdraws inside. Promise me, Kana, no matter what that paper says, please don't get any bad thoughts into your mind. Turn around begrudgingly and begin to leave. A little sound didn't escape my ears. Sound of metal hitting. She locked the door.
みたいだな。そんな顔するなよ。あの子を信じろ。大丈夫だと言ったんだろ。心配するってことは、相手のことを信用していないってことと同じだぞ。
Well, to be fair, she has a track record of seeking the lighthouse. You know, I trust her. I should just give her some space right now. Decide to wait until dinner time. Man, my fears had come true. She hadn't come out of her room to eat dinner. Kana, it's minutes before midnight. I currently stand in front of room 101 again. It's quiet as a mouse within a dome. There's a chilly stillness in the air. It's so dark and foreboding, it almost feels as though I've sunk to the bottom of the ocean. I can't just do this. I lower my hand before I can knock on the door. Don't know what I'd say to her. I shake my head and take one tiny step back. I'm so pathetic. Standing before a girl's door, unable to knock because I don't know what I'd say to console her. What am I hoping to achieve? Can I simply not be able to sit around in my room and do nothing? The door's still locked. I won't open it. I don't hear even a single sound coming from inside. But simply, I'm worried about Kana. My fears won't subside until I know she's okay. I'm aware of this, but I am, but she said she wanted to beat the paper alone. I don't think I have any right to go against her wishes. So I should just trust Kana's words and return to my room. Tell myself that that's the best thing I could do at the moment. I know that might not be the right thing to do. And I know I might not turn a blind eye to the signs I saw earlier, but it might be turning a blind eye. What else am I to do when she's locked herself in a room and won't answer? Turn around and prepare to head to the manager's office. Whoa! Only to find out he was standing before me. How long have you been there? You nearly gave me a heart attack. Huh?
どうしてそこで諦めちゃうんだ
I am.
もう一度言うよどうしてそこで諦めちゃうんだユーマ
Context. Why am I going to give up? What are you talking about? I'm not giving up. That's not what I'm doing at all.
あの子は今そうだよあの子は泣いているかもしれない今このドアのその向こうで
Nah, I'd probably hear that. Amma thrusts her fingers angrily towards the
声を
door.
殺して涙に耐えて心の中に悲しいの寂しいの痛いの押し込め押し込め
He is
誰
being
にも分かってもらえ
understandably
ない
angry though.
何かに苦しんで
Like, yes, he did say, yeah, sure, I'll give you a moment to read the paper. However, when she doesn't show up to fucking dinner and still refuses to get out of her room by midnight, that is time for the intervention. Like, I don't care if I said, oh, yeah, I'd let you have your moment. Your moment has passed. I'm coming in now. Quite possibly with a tub of ice cream and cuddles. Come here! And you're just gonna walk away, he shouts at
例
me.
えばあの子が自分の見ていないところで泣いていたとしてもユーマはそれで平気なの
Feeling indignation welling in my chest. Of course I can. I'm worried. If there was something I could do for her, I'd do it in a heartbeat. But the door's locked. Can't get in even if I wanted to. Should I take that as a sign from Kana? She doesn't want to see anyone right now, so we should just leave her alone for the day. Again, no. A lot of people that are, you know, in a bad enough state to want to commit the soup with sides, don't want to see other people. Yet that is not an excuse to leave them alone. You know? Besides, I can't just go trampling all over wishes of misguided attempted self-satisfaction so I can just say I consoled her.
なるほど
He
だ
nods.
から鍵がかかっているので引き返す
Thank you.
なんだよそれは
Irma stares at the ground in rage-filled
ユー
denial.
マらしくない本当にらしくないよユーマ何をそんなに怖がってるのか知らないけれど何がそんなに君を弱気にさせるのか君自身僕以上に理解できていないのかもしれないけれどだけど君はもっともっとこういう時だからこそ大胆に動ける人間なんだと自身を認めておいた方がいい
Very next
鍵がか
moment.
かって扉が開かない
Then Amu does something that defies my wildest imagination. He kicks the fucking door in!
そんなもの扉が開かなければ
He proceeds to violently kick down the door to room 101, Kana's room. What the? I have no words! Yeah, dude's more of a man than you and he looks like a girl. I'm still convinced that he's a girl, in fact. I am the most mild-mannered person I know. Just, why did you just... I'm so absolutely stunned. And even more flabbergasted when he comes back, grabs my collar with the lever of force I think impossible for someone as scrawny as him. He just fucking kicks down the door, grabs him by the neck, and just fucking tosses him in. What the fuck? What are you doing? All I can do is stare in disbelief until he half throws me into Kana's room. What mind-blowing strength! How did those weedy arms manage to do that? I'll never know. What the hell? I tumble into the room. Apologies! I'll be fixing your door later, by which I mean I'm going to make him do that. I find Kana sitting on the bed while hugging her knees. Seems to be another confusion over my abrupt and rather loud entrance. No, I didn't. It was just, damn it, how am I meant to explain this? Aimu, you little bastard! What in the actual hell was he thinking? But looking back, so I can file complaints this way, I discovered that he's flipped the scene. Are you kidding me? I touched my head and heaved an exasperated sigh. At least take some responsibility for your actions, come on. She asked somewhat timidly. I scratched my head nervously. Because it was locked and I couldn't open it. Yeah, pretty messed up, I know. I smiled ruefully. Damn it all. I don't care anymore. Can't pin the blame on Ayumu. He's long gone. No, you can't still. You can just say he fucking kicked down the door and tossed me in here. But hey, I'm here now. So who fucking gives a shit? Yeah, even if I went and dragged him back, your chances are he'd just feign innocence. So now that more pressing things for me to deal with at the moment. I need to talk to you. Though it was kicked down in a violent fashion, thankfully it seems that only the metal fixtures have come undone. Put them back in place as Kana and I could... Damn, he deadass talker just like lifts the door back up and just puts it back into place. Yeah, I stare into her bewildered eyes. Your eyes are red, Kana. You've been crying, haven't you? Right. You know what, Kana? She fearfully scoots backwards and cowers. I suppose no surprise that she's a little scared given my bombastic entrance. Can I ask you something? Thanks. I point towards the very top of the row of shelves. What's that? A thing on top of the tiny bookshelf or whatever it's called. The weird thing that's sitting there. It's a plastic toy duck. Of its eyes are two thick eyebrows drawn on in black marker. There's something else that strikes me as a bit odd. I seem to recall this room being full of books the last time I visited. So where did those books disappear to? Sorry, no. Shake my head and continue. When I barged in on you changing, which was purely accidental by the way, you threw a whole army of those things at me. Not that it really matters, but just what is that thing? She tilts her head to the side and asks inquisitively. I'm sorry? Okay, I'm still pretty confused now. Not sure. Okay. Quite frankly, I'm not sure how to respond to that. It feels like to me like some of the child still in their doll playing phase would do. This Sergeant Duck is the head of security. Then I guess he's not too pleased about my rather loose entrance earlier.
はい、そうですね。私の軍曹さんはお怒りかもですね。それでなくても、軍曹さんはここのところストレスのたまることが多いんです。あまり刺激されると危ないかもしれません。光り狂う猛禽類の激しさで、ユーマさんをついばみ必要な攻撃を加えることは必須なんです。
That sure doesn't sound like fun.
はい。それに加えてのストレスフルな家庭状況なんです。お尻のあたりに小さな円形脱毛症を作ってしまっても不思議じゃないんです。
Gotta explain?
はい。
She nods.
このところ反抗期の息子に妻が、あなたはお父さんみたいな醜いアヒルじゃなくて白鳥になるのよ。だとか、妙な入れ知恵をして、それですっかり息子はその気になって、毎日毎日お父さんを小馬鹿にして満足しているようなそんな息子の態度に、軍曹さんは胃を痛めているのです。アヒルはアヒルにしかなれないのに、そんなイライラを私の護衛をしてくれるっていう任務にかこつけて発散しようとしているのが軍曹さんなんです。だから、軍曹さんの怒りに触れてしまったユーマさんは、研ぎ澄まされた八つ当たりのくちばしを食らってしまうことを受け合いな状況だっていうか、
He tilts her head then asks.
それが聞きたいことですか？それが、ドアを壊してまで私に質問したかった、私が暇つぶしてやっていたお人形遊びのお話を聞きたかったんですか？
Yeah, that's right. I wanted to know about your toy duck. Is that odd?
そうですね。少し。
She smiles faintly in response. Thank goodness. The smile on her face right now is genuine, like the smile from earlier. It's time to delve into the main matter. I should be alright to do so now. To be honest,
はい。
I was worried that you might be holding yourself up in here and crying since you didn't show up for dinner. She avoids my gaze.
もう夜だったんですね。そういえばお腹も空きました。ちょっと考え事をしていたら時間を忘れてしまっていたみたいです。
That's why?
はい。ついうっかりだったんです。だからユマさんが心配してくれていたかもしれないようなことはありませんよ。
Denying it like that doesn't do much to reassure me, Kana. Can't help but smile
そう
ruefully.
ですね。でもドアに鍵をかけたのは、もしかするとユマさんの想像通りかもしれません。私はもしかしたら泣いてしまうかもしれなかった。お母さんについての分かりきった結果を見ると、そんなところを誰にも見せたくなかったし、見せるわけにもいかなかった。だから鍵をかけていたのに。
But well, somebody broke it down in the end, she continues grinning ruefully.
ユーマさん、
Yeah.
恥ずかしい話ですが、管理人さんに探し出してもらったお母さんの今現在をまだ私は確認できていないんですよ。
Still holds the very piece of paper in her
一
hands.
体どれだけ時間かかってるんだよって話ですよね。ただこの二つ折りの紙を開けばいいだけなのに、私の想像はきっと間違っていない。この紙の中に書かれているのは、私の家が更地になってしまったというような、それと同じような結果が書かれているんだと思います。
They're gonna open the fucking piece of letter and it's gonna be like, oh hey, she's like in a terminal state, but she's technically still alive in this hospital. And it's just like, oh, quickly, get over there. But it's like, oh fuck, we're here. But she literally just died right before I could fucking heal her. Whoop. Or something like that.
お母さんの今現在、それはきっと無機質で寂しい場所に私を連れて行ってくれるんだと、その事実を改めて文字にして目の前に示されるのは、やっぱり それを確認するのはやっぱり怖くて、十分以上の勇気が必要で、
Squeeze their eyes shut tightly.
私が泣いてしまうにはこれ以上ないように思えて。
Kana, you're crying. Tries a face using both hands.
ユマさん、私に勇気をください。ユマさん、現実を受け止めるだけのほんの少しの勇気を私に。
Strength. On this, I realized that my hands are tightly balled into fists. I touched Kana's mind with these hands. I used Shinku's power to lighten Kana's suffering.
準備はいつでもできてるぞ。あとはユーマが覚悟を決めるだけなんだ。
I resolved to take on a portion of Kana's pain and suffering.
ユーマさん、どうかしました？急に黙って。やっぱり少し、今日のユーマさんは怖いです。
Kana, I might be able to grant you your wish.
私の願いを？
Right? Wish for the strength to be able to open that piece of paper.
それはどういうことですか？
I'm a sorcerer, Kana, you know
魔
that.
法使い。
Yep. And you know that I can heal people's injuries, but in addition to that, I can also rid people of their mental pain.
心の痛みを？
Yep, I can. Forming a tiny miracle of that nature is no sweat for me.
すごい。
You know, right? Sorcerers are pretty amazing. Crack a light grin. A slight grin. Hopefully, in using that power, I could bestow you with the strength you desire. The fact you can't find that strength even though you want to should be proof enough that there's something weighing your mind. No? But I'm not very fond of using this
それは
power.
どうしてですか？
It's not like when he's feeling physical wounds. I only get one shot with this. And even in spite of that, it's no guarantee to fully fix the problem with just one use. Even if I can lighten the burden on somebody's mind, it'll only be a temporary effect. The magic itself is in no way an end-all be-all solution, and at times essentially only as effective as splashing a drop of water on a kerosene fire. I can't create the kind of miraculous effect that would fully free you from everything that's causing you suffering. So do you want me to use the temporary remedy of the magic? Just fair warning, even if it grants you the strength you wish for now, it may disappear entirely come tomorrow.
はい。
She nods without the slightest bit of hesitation.
それでも私は勇気が欲しい。今この手紙を開いて、その中身を確認するだけの小さな勇気が。
Alright. I nod. I then take Kana by the hand. To be completely honest, if I could open that letter in her place, I would. And if whatever's written therein is something that would send Kana spiraling into depression, then I would craft a lie to tell her in its place. She could live her life in blissful ignorance. However, if Kana wants to read the letter herself, even if it requires an outsider giving her that tiny ounce of strength she needs, there's only one thing for me to do. Alright, I'm gonna use the magic now, Kana. Hopefully it lightens the burden on your mind, even if only ever so slightly. And hopefully it gives you the strength you wish for.
はい。お願いします。
Close my eyes and speak. There's one thing I need to let you know before I use this magic. I tell you this in full disclosure because I think you have the right to know.
はい。
Using this power will allow me to gain a glimpse into your mind. I'll essentially be spying on your thoughts and memories, so I want you to be aware of that before we continue.
私の心を。
Yes, it's one of the magic's effects. Take your silence to mean approval. Alright, Shinku, you ready?
ああ。わかった。了解。
I think I hear her muttering something under her breath. My attention's already laser focused on my palm. Magic. Shinku's magic. Using it will grant me access to Kana's mind. I'll learn of those things which she can't put into words. I know that he is essentially just holding their hands, but for some reason, just like the whole like mind magic reading them thing just makes me think that he just fucking go. he just goes full Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War, just grabs him by the fucking face. What a shame! What a shame! A dream. Nah, I'm very much awake. I'm dreaming. No, again, I'm very much awake. This dream begins when Kana and I first met. I was still young and lacking in identity. This continuation of her story. What happened to her following her telling me that she was going to go fetch her mother and bring her back.
ここはどこ?
I, Minami Kana, opened my eyes to an unfamiliar scenery. The moon was there, it shone in the night sky, but there was something noticeably different about it.
これは夢? お月様が2つあるよ。
There was a big moon and a small moon floating closely together in the sky as though they were locked to one another. I looked around me. It seemed to be some sort of dense forest, and I was stuck in the heart of it. I instantly grew scared. The trees rustled. Wind blew and pushed against the branches of the large trees, the noise they made seemingly almost like whispers. They were secretly sneering at me, poor little child all alone. Oh, we actually get to see little Baby Kana. I cried out. A flock of birds flew up from the ground. Where was I? Where was this place?
どうして私こんなところにいるの?
I thought back, tried to follow my trail of memories.
私は魔法使いさんと会ってお母さんを見てもらう約束をしてもらって、お母さんを連れてくるから待っててくださいって魔法使いさんにお願いをして。
And I ran back to the festival to find mommy.
だけどその途中で
Slowly but surely, the mist was gradually clearing in my mind. As it did, my forgotten memories reappeared.
私変な光を見たんだ。
Hoping to save time, I had taken a shortcut to get back to the festival. I had willingly decided to brave through that pitch-black mountain trail, knowing it was the quickest way to get to my mother. It was a far quicker option than following the path along the breakwater. This shortcut was known to me because my mother had once taken me down and holding my hand all the while.
怖かったけど真っ暗で何も見えなくて何度も泣いちゃったけど。
You so? I wanted the sorcerer boy to heal my mother as soon as possible. Completely almost forgot, but found a manga recently. Started reading it. It's not that far yet, but it is interesting thus far. It's... I will say it is an isekai, so don't get your hopes up too high. It's just, it's an interesting concept. Essentially, it's like 9 years into an isekai, starting the 10th year. DMC, 15, when he first just suddenly popped up into this world, he literally just tried to leave his house and suddenly he's in a fucking jungle. Just essentially spent the majority of those 9 years that he spent in this other world trying desperately to find a way back and eventually just giving up and just saying, you know what, I'm going to live in this world. Except that he randomly got teleported from his own world to this world without warning. So what's stopping it from happening again? And this like irrational fear that he might just randomly get teleported again is just essentially crippling his ability to form actual genuine relationships with people. Until these two twins that he randomly helped because of a goddamn random ass quest he took on decided, you know what? The company that our parents owned is done for, essentially, because we managed to fucking revealed the fact that the dude that took over after her parents died was doing gold smuggling. And they decided, you know what, just revealing that and making him pay the price, and therefore restabilizing the area's financial situation is more important than the company. So now they don't have a company, but they say, you know what, we're gonna fucking go along with this man, and we're going to help him guarantee that he will not teleport anymore. And it's like, it's interesting because essentially it's just these two twins just like like trying to just make this man open up. And it is actually kind of hilarious because like both of them are like, they're merchants' daughters. They're very well known. However, lost objects are very well known. It's just that lost objects are actually humans, are not. Like, there are literally just, like, when he went to their room to, like, on the initial quote-unquote rescue mission, there was just straight up a camera in one table and a desk lamp on another. And turns out these two are massive lost objects nerds. So that's also partially a reason why they want to follow the MC, because he's literally a walking, talking, living lost object. And the twins are especially interesting because, like, example, like, they were just sitting on the ground during their journey. One of them was looking through a map while the other one was talking to the MC. And suddenly, the one that was talking to the MC just, there's a hot spring town nearby! Because turns out, something about those twins, like, they just have, like, a weird mind link going on, where their minds are permanently linked. So, like, one of them sees, like, a cat in the garden, and the one in the library is like, oh, hey, that's a nice cat. And it does make for quite the lovely chaos sometimes. It is, I personally love it. Anyways. I will, however, say that, it's an isekai, so of course the goddamn name has to be cringe. On the 10th year, the transferee who gave up returning finally becomes the protagonist. Like, they didn't have to call it something some cringe-ass bullshit like that. They did not. Yes. I'd forgotten what my uncle had warned me of earlier in the day. Listen, kid, whatever you do, avoid that mountain trail in the neighboring town, Kazatsuguhama, especially at night. It's dangerous. Why, you ask? Well, that's because... Before I realized it, I was enveloped in light. It occurred to me just as I was approaching the highest point of the elevation along the trail. They were luminescent butterflies. It was a magical spectacle. A large cluster of butterflies, each emanating a pale silver fluorescent light that seemed almost like they had been harvested straight from the moon. The wind then howled, and the luminescent butterflies soared upward on that rustling wind. Clouds of silver lights came flying towards me all at once. Subsequently, felt a sharp pain in my head as I'd been struck there. My vision, my thoughts, everything was red. Then, when I next opened my eyes, I was here. I remembered what my uncle had told me after I'd asked why this trail was so dangerous. Years back, there was a group of young boys that went there and got spirited away. They'd gone on a dare, but then disappeared without a trace. They didn't even make papers. Happened about when I was your age, kid. Today's day, those boys have still never been found. Didn't fully grasp what my uncle had been trying to warn me of. But even so, I could vaguely tell what had happened to me. Somehow I managed to fumble my way out of the forest. It was nothing short of a miracle. Let's not talk about forests and miraculous escapes, please.
明かりだ。街がある。誰かいるんだ。
I had been stranded in an unknown area of an unknown mountain trail. You normally expect someone in a situation to wander around aimlessly for days within this labyrinth of trees before ultimately dying of starvation. However, I hadn't. The words were stuck in my throat. This town was not inhabited by humans. They were terrifying creatures. They were bizarre creatures, cute-looking creatures, odd-looking creatures. Stan was teeming with them. I was so astonished that I burst into tears. I was a crybaby. I was a scaredy cat. I hated this all. Then, however, at that very moment, a great tumult was occurring in front of me. All the creatures coming and going, supposedly having noticed going stopped, supposedly having noticed a little human girl crying. They all swarmed towards me at once, a deep, dark, insatiable hunger in their eyes. A human! It's a human! Captured! Let's sacrifice it! The swarm of scared creatures chased me ferociously with outstretched hands. They're gonna kill me, I thought. If I don't run, they're gonna eat me alive. That day began my game of hide-and-seek with these inhuman creatures. What the fuck? Abruptly wake up in the middle of the dream. Magic continues to work on the two of us as we hold onto each other's hand.
不思議ですね、これは。どういう風に感想を口にすればいいかわかりませんけど。
She speaks slowly and carefully as she grips my hand slightly and
ず
tighter.
っとユーマさんと一緒に同じ夢を見ているような感じがしていました。それだけでなんだか心強いというか、小さいですけど確かな勇気をもらっているような、そんな気がし
She
ます。
asks me whether or not that's because of the magic, but all I can merely reply with is a vague, I'm not sure. Let's discuss the dream we had. Is that when you first became lost, as you put it?
はい。
So we were spirited away after that. Didn't know there was some weird magical wormhole-like spot hiding in this town. But anyhow, point being, when you were a child, you were transported unknowingly to a parallel world. She nods. There's something I find odd about your story. Something that kind of inspires a little bit of doubt. You mentioned to me previously that you weren't sure how to explain this whole business of you becoming lost to me. But I'm more than familiar with parallel worlds, so it should have been perfectly possible for you to explain the fundamental situation. Just fill me in on minor details I don't know about.
はい。いいえ、違います。それについては違うんです。私は迷子になってしまったことをうまく言葉にして伝えられない。正しくは迷子になってから先のお話をです。事情があります。私に語彙が少なく上手に説明できないとか、そういったことだけではないんです。問題そのものを言葉にできないわけがあるんです。
The reason I can't put it into words.
はい、そのわけがあるために私は不自由になってしまいました。そんなあんまり嬉しくない事情の何もかもから、私はユーマさんに自由にしてほしいと思ったんです。
Well, I suppose it's time to murder an entire town of weird-looking creatures. A cunning metaphor for sex. I don't know what I'm on about. Don't worry about it. You should be used to it. Whoops, don't fall out of that. Keep it closed for the most part. There we go. I can still push stuff in there if I need to. Anyways.
だからこうしてユーマさんに私自身の言葉を使うことなく、私の事情を知ってもらえるこの魔法は 小さな勇気をもらえる嬉しさだけではなくて、今の私にとっては何よりもベストで最適な奇跡なんだと、そう信じています。
Right, let's see. Shall we keep going?
はい、お願いします。
Oh, also, I still used to do my dailies with Honkai Star Rail, I just realized. Because I've been trying to do these dailies like since 3 hours before I started recording, but for some reason the game wouldn't load. If you open your eyes during the dream, you can temporarily pause the magic's effects. So if there's anything you want to discuss, then please do that. You'll be warned, if you let go of my hand, the magic stops. Got it?
わかりました。
I can hardly believe it. Really is. It was really possible for me to grasp Kana's mind at the blink of an eye. No, it wasn't just possible. It was a certainty with this magic. That's why there's simply no need for us to waste time confirming that we're on the same page. But part of me feels as though dancing around these things wouldn't be quite right. I want to make certain I fully comprehend every facet of this section of Kana's mind that I'm about to witness. Continuation of a dream. 10 dream nights. A few years had passed since I was spirited away. He was sighed after placing the book I'd been reading on the desk. This was the 10th book I'd finished this day. I was pretty satisfied with my pace.
次は何を読もうかな。
Time was slightly before noon. It would have been nice if I could read another 10 books before the day closed out. 20 books per day. Perfect preferred amount.
昨日は夜までで15冊だったから、今日は本当にいいペース。
I could sense my reading speed increasing with each passing day. It mattered not whether I enjoyed them or not, as long as I understood them. That made speed reading less of a chore. It should be no exaggeration to say that this technique saved my life. It had already been a few years since I'd wandered astray into this land. In that time, I'd found a small hut located in the forest and made it my home. Thanks to various knowledge and tools that my predecessors had left me, even someone like myself, who was the sharpest tool in the shed, could live safely out here on my own.
よし、それじゃ次に読むのは君に決めたよ。
A mystery novel. It was the type of story in which characters are killed off methodically one after another until the main character gets to the bottom of things. A tale of logical deduction, written as though each person's death was simply a mathematical equation to be solved. Addition, subtraction, at times perhaps even division. Was it a good read or not? Would I enjoy it or not? It didn't matter in the slightest how the book would affect me emotionally. The value to me in a book was the amount of information contained therein. If I could stuff my mind full of knowledge or not. Reach out towards the mountainous pile of books on the desk. I held my hand unsteadily upon hearing the grumbling noise that emanated from my empty
お
stomach.
腹すいたな。
Even if I was keeping my brain well fed, I need to provide my body with nourishment as well. I hate being hungry. It made me want to cry.
お腹いっぱい。おいしい料理が食べたいよ。
Piss off, mosquito. I've finally grown accustomed to my life here. Children who I assumed have lived here before me had left behind plenty of knowledge pertaining to how to survive in this land. I owed it all to those children who'd been spirited away like I was. It was all due to them that I was alive to feel this hunger. My body is able to experience everything associated with living, both good and
た
bad.
くさんたくさん怖いことがあるけれど、一人で寝るのが怖くて、思わず泣いちゃいそうになる夜もあるけれど。
But all I had to do was remember that promise and I found the strength to continue living. I'll protect you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sorcerer.
頑張る。魔法使いの加上優馬さん。私、頑張るよ。
Just saying his name aloud brought me peace of mind. Feeling lonely no more, I placed my head down on the desk and closed my eyes.
この場所をどうにか脱出して、そうしてあの灯台に行きさえすれば、私は助かる。
Sorcerer would save me.
約束だから。
That's right, he promised. I would get away from these terrifying creatures who were after my life. Then I would make it to the lighthouse. So long as I could get it there, I would be
魔
fine.
法使いさんが私を助けてくれるんだ。とても不思議なあの男の子が。
I thought back to that night before we parted. The boy introduced himself to me as Kana-Route. My name is Niuma, Kana-Route. Couldn't remember the context behind when he said that. It was like my mind was taunting me by keeping that bit of information locked away. However, those words were like a ray of hope to me. All I had to do was merely say them aloud and think of them.
私はまだまだ平気でいられる。私は一人じゃないから。味方がいるから。
Those were the feelings he inspired within me. All my fears and sorrows were allayed.
ユーマさん、魔法使いさん。
I was able to sleep peacefully despite the fact that I could be attacked at any given moment.
さあ、続きを読まなくちゃ。
I'd just woken up from a nap, which I'd taken to forget about my hunger. Instantly reached for the pile and picked up a book. Today's reading, among the thousands of books that have been collected in this hut. At this point in time, I had made my way through more than half of them. I wasn't particularly fond of reading per se. There was a reason why I had to keep reading. The reason being, the wind howled, the trees whispered. I looked up at the night sky. The moons had changed color. They were now a pale purple.
時間だ。
It was
蝶
coming.
たちの宴の時間。
One and another. They appeared slowly and gradually like drops of ink in water. The butterflies had arrived. The luminescent butterflies. A swarm of tiny bodies swayed from side to side on the whispering wind, almost as though they were performing some sort of dance. Upon sight, he opened the book in my hand. The words imprinted on those pages, illuminated by the moonlight, leapt out into the sky all at once like a thread unraveling. The letters rustled softly like pieces of paper being rubbed together as they seeped into the sky like a row of black ants.
お願い。どうか、本ならここにたくさんあるから。だからもう、誰にも意地悪しないでほしいよ。
The luminescent butterflies devoured the letters which had been strung out via the moonlight.
こうして見てるだけなら、とても綺麗で、何も害はないのに。
My body began to quiver. I winced at the sudden sensation of these creepy crawlies squirming around inside my head. Soon enough, moons became obscured by thick grey clouds, and small green dots of light quickly flickered out. It was over. They had finished their feasting for tonight. As usual, they'd consumed many of the books that I had yet to read, but that was okay. It didn't seem like they'd touched any of the important things within my mind.
とにかく、今は本を読まなくちゃ。
Reading was the single method I had to retain who I was. I thought back to what had happened when I first arrived in this land, not island. I'm stupid. It's human capture and sacrifice it! Shook off the beast-like hands from the creatures of the town. Then, after having barely escaped by the skin of my teeth, I spent the entire night wandering the forest. Dawn was approaching and my hope was fading, but then all of a sudden I came across a small hut.
なんだろう、ここ。
It rested atop a small hill and situated Along with it was a small garden containing an old bower.
誰もいないんですか？
There was signs that somebody had been living there rather recently, but right now it was deserted. Although I had felt bad for using someone else's living quarters, I decided to spend the night there. The next day, first thing upon waking up,
何これ？
I noticed a letter placed atop the desk underneath the bower of the garden. You have found yourself astray in this world, then we addressed this letter to you. That was the first sentence written upon the piece of paper.
迷い込む。
It must have meant lost, I thought.
私は多分迷子だよ。何が何だかわからないけど、こんな怖い場所に来てしまったの。
Hence, I decided it was okay for me to read that letter.
ようこそ僕らの家へ歓迎するよ。と、まずはそう言わせてもらいたい。
That was how the letter began. It continued on, and any difficult characters, and many difficult characters were accompanied by the respective and any difficult characters were accompanied by the respective readings. Being as young as I was, there was myriad of words I wasn't familiar with, but regardless, I decided I would try reading the letter
だけ
aloud.
ど、この手紙を僕らの知らない君が読んでいる時にはもうそこには誰一人として生き残ってはいないんだろうと思う。だから突然こんな怖い世界へ迷い込んでしまい困惑しているだろう君にこの場所での生活事情やその他多くのことを説明してあげられることはできないだろうと思う。なのでこの手紙を残します。この場所がどういったものなのか、地図にも載っていないここは一体何なのか、僕らにもわからないことは多い。だから君が抱える疑問や不安、そういったものすべてを解消しきれるかどうかはごめんね、わからないけど、それでもこの世界で君が生き残るための方法と僕らの願いをここに残しておこうと思います。
The letter continued, trying hard not to brood too deeply over anything just yet. I read on.
まず何を置いても君が知っておかなければならない。君は多分ここへやってくる前に光の蝶を見たと思う。それが一匹だったのか群れをなしていたのかどうかはわからないけれど、簡単に言うと君はあの光の蝶に餌としてこの場所に連れてこられた。
Fodder? What did that word mean exactly? Picked up in my head of the food that we used to give the big dog that our family
あ
kept.
の蝶が一体何なのか、それを説明することは難しい。単純明快に言えば、その正体は妖怪だとかそういったものになるのかもしれない。そして分かっていることは、あの蝶が僕ら人間の知識や思い出を食べ成長するってことなんだ。
Fucking Yuma just shows up here. Fucking try me! My brain's empty! You're gonna fucking go hungry with me here! The rest of the letter continued in a similar fashion. Silvery green luminescent butterflies that I had encountered on that mountain trail in Kazutsuguhama. They had been what brought me here. As for why, apparently those butterflies laid their eggs inside human skulls, which, when hatched, would feed gradually on the knowledge contained within the brain as they matured. They were quite reminiscent of species of parasitic wasps, which laid eggs inside other insects' bodies so that their offspring could feed on them when they hatched.
そうして 孵化した幼虫はさなぎになって僕らの頭から十分に栄養を吸い取り、大きく大きく成長したなら、僕らの頭を食い破り外へ出るんだ。そうして生まれるのを待っているお父さんとお母さんの場所に飛んでいく。頭の中の腸が大きく成長するまでには個人差もあるけど、だいたい10年くらいで成虫になってしまうんだ。
Oh. That's why she has limited time. She's bugged. That's why I put the letter down.
10年。
I muttered to myself, oh, so long I had left. Yes, to say the reality that didn't quite set in at first. I simply didn't want to believe it, but you still remember your own name. I was shook with the question in the letter posed to me.
まずあの蝶が好んで食べるのは宿主の名前なんだ。名前は特別なものだから。その人を一言で表し象徴する魔法の言葉だ。君は今自分の名前を思い出せる？私は私の名前を
Felt the blood drain from my face.
嘘、ダメだ。思い出せない。全然ダメだよ。私の名前を食べられちゃったの？
With all my memory and the emptiness in my head, upon realizing that, I immediately believed the 10-year death sentence I had been given by the writer of the letter. And then, the butterflies living inside her began to eat the knowledge and memories of my brain.
ダメ。嘘。ちょっと待って。
It had hit me. A name was the only thing that had been eaten. Those precious short-lived days I'd spent with my beloved mother. Those too had been devoured by the parasitic butterflies.
嘘だよ、やめて。それだけは食べないで。持っていかないで。
There were wicked creatures living inside my head, stealing my memories of my mother from me. The idea of that was far, far more terrifying than the prospect of death to me.
どうしたらいいの？なくした思い出はどうやったら元に戻るの？
Continued reading French.
君はこれから本を読んでいかなくちゃいけない。残念ながら食べられちゃった知識も思い出も取り戻すことはできないけれど、とにかく君は本を読むんだ。たくさん忘れたくないものを忘れず持ち続けていくために。蝶は一度食べた知識には二度と口をつけない。だから常に新しい本を読んでいかなくてはいけないけれど、ここには幸い僕らの先輩が残していってくれた本が山のようにある。それをここでの生活や頭の中の意地悪になれるまでは呼吸するみたいに読み続けるんだ。
I must read. If I want to live, I must read a large number of books.
どうしよう。私あんまり難しい本は読んだことないのに。
All the odds were stacked against me if I wanted to continue living, and upon realizing that, I sank into a deep pit of depression. We could continue to scan through the letter, hoping to find some way to be saved.
そしてこれだけは覚えておいてほしい。破ってはいけない規則が2つだけあるんだ。
Two rules.
一つ、僕ら以外の誰かに蝶のことを話してはいけないということ。蝶は それそのものを意味するあらゆる言葉に乗って人から人へと伝染する。感染者から健常者へと。
Like fucking the MC over here, turns out just reading these memories is enough to like pass the contagion, but in the MC's brain, the fucking larvae just appeared. Just look to the side. There's just fucking Hinku with like a fly swatter. No. Just fucking crushes the thing with a fly swatter. No, this is my house. What does his head look like? Sora's heart? No. This is not a free Airbnb.
それは蝶の繁殖の方法の一つなんだ。もちろん筆談だってダメだ。だからもしもここから元の世界へ戻れたとしても誰にも事情を話せないんだ。そしてもう一つ、人前では決して涙を流してはいけない。頭の中に住む蝶は悲しい涙に乗って外へ出ていく。そうしてそんな君の涙を見たり触れたりした人の頭の中へと新しい卵を産みつけるとずっと信じられてる。僕らも先輩たちにそう注意を受け続けてきたんだ。誰かに喋ってはいけない。涙を見せてはいけない。それら二つの決まりが本当なのかはわからない。ただ恐怖心から生まれた迷信かもしれない。その規則の信憑性については何とも言えない。でも用心に越したことはないから。嘘か本当かわからないことでもこんな不自由を頭の中に抱え込むようなことは僕たち以上に増やしてはいけないんだ。絶対に。それが僕らの願いの一つでもあるんだ。どうか僕らのそんな願いを込めたこの規則を君にも守ってもらいたい。そうすれば君がこの小屋で暮らしていくことを僕らは歓迎するよ。
Put the letter down. The letter, which was meant for me, continued after that. Writer's wishes were laid out in full detail for me to read. But I just couldn't bring myself to continue reading.
ここでこの場所で生活する。
That mean
私は
no, I was never going to go back home? Tears began to well in my eyes.
そんなの嫌だよ、母さん。帰りたい。うちに帰りたいよ。
Cried alone in the darkness, unable now to even recall the face of the person I loved so dearly. Back to Rearwood for a split, I assume? Nope, not actually. A few days later, I mustered the courage to read the remainder of the letter. It contained various bits of information regarding how to survive in this world, how to scavenge for food, how to plow the ground for crop cultivation, how to find water, how to set traps, and much, much more. Young as I was, I doubt that I could do any of this on my own, but I also knew that I had to in order to survive. Nobody would come to my rescue. I was alone. So I had to live here by my own power.
私、罰が当たっちゃったのかな。お母さんにひどいこと言ったから。
A certain stern warning issued to me in the letter.
近くにある人でない者たちが住む町には近づかない方がいいよ。彼らは頭の中に意地悪を見つけられた僕らを捕まえようといつでも探しているから。成虫になった蝶は手当たり次第に襲って回っているんだ。生き物の知識や 思い出を食べるために、そんな蝶を沈めるためには、僕らを捕まえて差し出せば、彼らは自分たちは救われると信じているんだ。そんなのはきっと迷信なのに。それなのに、彼らは自分たちが助かりたいために、僕らを。
Close my eyes upon reading the rest of those horrendous words.
そういうわけで、彼らの知らない場所にあるこの小屋に、君は隠れて生活していかないといけない。
It was a strong warning.
たくさんの人が助かるために、誰か一人が悲しい思いをしなくちゃいけない。
Almost reminded me
な
of.
んだか人柱みたいだよ。
I could recall an old scary movie that I'd seen with my mom that included a scene with something like that. Anyhow, I would proceed to live there all by myself from there on out. I had to pay attention to various different things. But I had to exercise caution when doing numerous different
私
things.
ちゃんとやっていけるのかな。そっか、そういえば私、名前を食べられちゃってたんだった。
So I'd begin with that before anything else. I'd fill that void in my mind so I could once again hold an identity.
この子の名前、私はもらうよ。
There were a few manga mixed within the innumerable books there left there. In one of them, there was a particularly cheerful, upbeat girl. She was everything I wanted to be.
これで、私もあなたみたいに、毎日元気に、楽しくなれるかな。
Maybe then I could find the strength I needed to live in this lonely, frightening world.
苦いよ。
The preserved foods inside the hut were quite disgusting.
ダメだよ。
On one particular day, I'd caught a kitten in one of my traps.
こんなの、かわいそうだよ。
I found it as I was walking around and checking the many traps I'd laid out for small animals as the letter had instructed me to do.
私、できない。
Neat hold back. Then the writer of the letter had said, think about everything you must do in order to stay alive. Fucking, I'm
生き
holding
てい
back.
くためにできること。
Don't worry, you can. You're
そ
able
れって
to.
やっぱり、
Terrible.
この子のこと。
Tears quickly filled my eyes. Human
自
sacrifice.
分が生きるために誰かに悲しい思いをさせなくちゃいけないなんて。
There was no way I could bring myself to do such a thing. At this point, I began to think that maybe I simply wasn't cut out for living this
ごめん
way.
ね、子猫さん。
I proceeded to carry the kitten home with me, where I then bandaged up its injured leg. The kitten had lived alongside me for a long period of time. You say it couldn't speak to me. But even so, just having it with me cured my loneliness. I did not feel like I was alone anymore. Brightened my days. It comforted me on those lonely nights when I felt its fur against me as I held it. However, to be honest, I didn't remember don't much remember my time with it. Even beyond that, at this point, a lot of my memories were starting to become hazy and fragmented. Eventually, one day, the kitten disappeared. Even when it had wandered off into the mountains before, it would always come back home, right when it was time to have dinner. This time, however, the entire night passed without it anywhere to be seen. I spent the entire night searching around calling for it, but to no avail. Eventually, I decided to give up and head back to the hut. I was sure that the kitten's hind leg had more or less healed fully by now. I didn't need to worry. It would be just fine without it. You would be just fine without me, I thought.
さよなら。
Goodbye, little kitty. Hope you reach home safely.
もう絶対に捕まっちゃダメだよ。きっとお母さんが待ってるよ。
That kitten was able to freely run back home to its mother after its back leg had healed. But I would never. Started to cry again. It angered me. Why was I such a crybaby? I decided to let all my tears out just at once. Only now that I was left all alone could I permit myself to. I could never cry in front of anyone ever again. That was a terribly, terribly sad thought. I turned my mind back to the present time. Butterflies in my head were getting more voracious by the day. If I kept reading at my current speed, I was more than certain that my whole mind would be consumed before long. Memories of my mom, and the sorcerer's promise to save me. I read. I gave the butterfly inside my head their daily fodder. Ever since I was young, my vision had been poor. Picked up my glasses. They were a little pair by now. They were one of the few personal possessions from my home world that I still had with me, along with my purse. Thankfully, I'd carried them with me during the summer festival. I still took very good care of them. Nothing came to me. My memories were muddled. There was no doubt about it. It was because the parasites in my head had eaten them up. I lowered my head onto the desk before me as I clutched my empty stomach. Sorcerer will grant my wish. Please, please save me. After finishing my reading for the day, I ventured into the mountains to find food. My arms were full of things. Berries, the fish I'd found in the riverbank, and leftover vegetables I had harvested from the garden. I considered myself a good cook, but securing the food was another matter entirely. I did not see myself as good at that. But it was fine. I had a bountiful haul today. On the riverbank, I found a fish that had washed ashore. As I'd been walking along the mountain trail, a berry from a bush fell on my head from the tree above, alerting me to its presence. She said that I'll be able to eat good for the first time in a long while. That's the cat, probably. The cat fucking caught the fish and just put it on the goddamn thing. Returned to the hut in the jovial moon, only to find everything had been destroyed. Kana abruptly opens her eyes. The magic pauses. Derek, you considered about how the story plays out from here. Everything was destroyed. The hut, the vegetable plot, and small bower where Kana had read her books. Kana, what did you find upon returning to her hut, her arms full of food? What happened? I ruminated over the things that I saw in Kana's dream, namely the insects that live in her head and feed on human knowledge and memories. It shook my heart to its core. She'd been informed that she had a meager 10 years left to live. And how many years had passed since then? She speaks her words slowly and deliberately. Kana, As you know, all you need to do is close your eyes once more and I'll learn everything without you having to explain.
はい。いいえ、もう大丈夫です。これから先は私の言葉で説明します。こうして言葉にしてユーマさんに伝えることができない部分を伝えきれたので、あとは魔法に頼らなくてもちゃんと伝えられます。私は人柱なんです。
A human sacrifice.
あの銀色に食べられてしまえばあの世界は助かるとあの世界の者たちは思っていました。
Think back. Recall the objections kind of raised to the logical justifications given for the right of departure when we were with Haku. She'd specifically called it a human
町の
sacrifice.
住人たちは私を探して飛び回り無差別な虐殺を繰り返すあれに私を差し出すためにやってきた。町を襲うのをやめさせるために。だから私は一目散に逃げ出して追いかけてくる怖い者たちを振り払うために山道をがむしゃらに走り回って気づけばいつの間にか誰も追いかけてこなくなっていて、私はまた真っ暗な夜の山で迷子になってしまっていて、でも帰り道が分かったとしても私はあそこには戻れない。きっと怖い者たちが待っている。これから私はどうしたらいいの？帰りたい。月も雲に隠れてしまって月の光も差さない真っ暗な山の中で私はそればっかりを祈っていました。山の林の中に身を潜めてお願い助けて魔法使いさんっていつもみたいにあなたの名前を繰り返しつぶやいていたらなんだか少し安心して眠ってしまっていて、そして朝目を覚ますと奇跡が起きていたんです。
Huh? I squinted her. What kind of miracle?
はい、どういうわけか私帰ってきていたんです。この町に魔法使いさんの住むこのカザツガ浜に。どうしてわかりません。ただ気がついたらここに戻ってきていたんです。それだけです。何かが起きた理由も道理もそのつながりも何もわからない。まるで悪い夢から目を覚まして安堵するかのような唐突感にしばらく私もぼーっとしてしまっていました。それでも確かに私に起きてしまったこの突然の物事に名前をつけるならそれは確かに奇跡でした。どうして10年間もずっとみんなが何を試しても帰ってこれなかったのにそれを突然何の工夫もしていない一晩で私はこうして帰ってこれたのか。理由はやっぱりわかりません。たまたま目には見えない空間の歪みのようなものが私の眠っていた場所にあったのかもしれないし、それとももっともっと別の原因があったのかもしれない。そういった理由の何もかも理解できないまま私にそれが確かに起きて、私はとにかくこの町へ戻ってきました。だから私は魔法使いさんが待っていてくれると約束してくれた灯台へ走りました。自分の家の帰り道は忘れてしまったけれど10年間ずっと忘れないように守ってきたあなたの記憶を頼りにお願い、どうか私を助けてほしい。お母さんに会わせてもらいたい。 頭の中の不自由から解放してもらいたい。約束の恋することなら今の私にだったら十分に渡せると思った。10年間ずっと恋愛について私なりに研究してきました。恋愛小説をたくさん読んで、可愛い女の子がたくさん出てくる大人の男の人向けの漫画もたくさん読んで。
Huh? Wait, what did you just say? I know I'm interrupting your story and I had to do so, but may I just picked up some particularly odd.
漫画と小説です。偉い人たちがお話の中で教えてくれることに間違いはないですよね。
I don't know how to explain this to you.
もしかしてユーマさん、変な想像してますか？
Inappropriate as
大
in?
人の男の人向け。エッチなものじゃありませんよ。
Oh, yeah, of course not.
皆さん、お目目がパチクリ大きくて、ちょうど少し前に夏目さんが貸してくださった小説の挿絵のような女の子で溢れているような、そんな漫画本です。
That's what you meant by for adult men. Those books are what taught her everything she knows about romance. Well, I'm not sure those are the best reference materials out there. I guess that is kind of what I'd imagine you doing, now that I think about it. It's probably my fault for making assumptions about you. It just makes things confusing.
何がですか？私らしい？
Don't worry, nothing. Just talking to myself. So anyways, could you get back to your story now? I encourage her to continue after a debriefed respite.
はい。
She straightens her posture.
とにかく私はユーマさんとの約束を果たせると思っていたんです。本をたくさん読んでから、それで恋愛のノウハウみたいなものは少なくともその基礎はしっかりと知っているつもりでした。でも
But?
はい、私はいろいろと間違っていたみたいです。ちょっと大胆すぎましたよ。あなたにまた会えたことが嬉しくて、少しはしゃいでしまっていました。
Right.
そしてユーマさん、
Yeah?
そんな私の心にこびりついているものはきっと怖さです。死ぬことへの恐怖です。
Huh. Fear.
怖い。死ぬことは怖い。お母さんもきっとそんな気持ちとずっと戦っていて、それがあるから私はこの紙を開けない。その勇気が湧かない。お母さんの今現在も私自身の不自由も怖くて認められなくて、認めることができなくて、目をそらし続けてきました。
My mom kind of repeats, and her eyes begin to fill with tears, but realizes she really wipes them away. There are butterflies growing in her head, and they spread like some sort of virus. They formed in her eyes, but they didn't roll down, but they were still in her eyes. He saw those. Now spread through your tears. You have no right to disprove that claim, which is why you can't cry, right? She scrubs hard at her eyes. Even though she can't cry, she's still a crybaby at her core. It might be mere superstition, might only be the result of someone's excess anxiety bubbling out of control. Yeah, Kana has been struggling so hard all by herself, just in case that the claim turns out to be true. She doesn't want anybody else to drown in the same fear as her. How many times has she had to stifle the urge to cry? A tiny lump forms in my throat at the thought.
私
Yeah?
はお母さんに言わなくちゃいけないことがある。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい、お母さん。お母さんなんか大っ嫌い。あんな身勝手な言葉を謝りたい。それまでは絶対に私は死ねない。お母さんの記憶を食べられちゃうわけにはいかない。だから私は絶対に生きていなくちゃいけない。それなのに私は 自分で自分を粗末にするようなことばかりを繰り返して。
I mean, to be fair, doing the fucking leap would prevent the butterflies from spreading, most likely, unless they fucking spread by people seeing the corpses as well for some fucking reason.
ユマさん、私はやっぱりダメな子です。自分のことばかりしか考えない悪い子。
Kana?
私はもしかするとただ本当に怖いだけなのかもしれない。お母さんに謝らなくちゃいけないっていう気持ちよりも何よりも、私は死ぬのが怖い。頭の中のあれに頭の中身を食い破られるだなって、それが一番怖いんです。さっきユマさんと一緒に見た夢の中では出てこなかったですけど、私が忘れたいと願い続けていたので、その映像は思い起こされず省略されてしまったみたいですけど、あの小屋以外にも神隠しにあってあの世界で生きている子が一人だけお友達になれるかと思った。二人で力を合わせて生きていけるって。でもそうはならなかった。知り合ってすぐの夜でした。その子の頭の中からあれが孵化する瞬間を私は見ました。あんなのひどいよ。思い出したくもない。
We're talking like Alien, but for the
一
head?
度見たら何日も眠れなくなります。やだ、私の最後もあんなどれくらい痛いの、気持ち悪いの。人によっては気づけないくらい一瞬。それともやっぱり何分も何時間も痛いのを我慢していかなくちゃ。そんなのを想像するだけで私はいても立ってもいられなくなる。だから私はあれになんか殺されるくらいなら、私は自分の命を絶ってしまった方がいくらかマシだと。
That's where it jumped from the lighthouse? She answered with a solemn nod. But why did you resort to something so crazy? Might have been a way to save you.
だってどうせ私はあともう1ヶ月も生きられないんです。
Huh? A month?
死ぬのは怖い。当たり前だけど、それはどうしようもなく怖くて悲しい。
Yeah, I think it's been more than a month since they found, but since she appeared again, right? Or am I going crazy?
頭の中の意地悪のおかげで、その時初めて私はお母さんの痛みを知ることができたのかもしれません。だからこそ最後くらいは自分で選びたい。最初から最後まで頭の中に住むバカみたいな何かに振り回されたくはない。だってこれは私の人生だから。誰にも自由になんかさせたくない。それが私の立ち向かうことへの答えだと、そう思ったんです。
To fight against it. That's the answer she arrived at.
10年です。神隠しにあってしまってから私に課せられた寿命は10年。
What's the time it takes for those? That's the time it takes for those parasites inside your head to mature into adults.
そうです。あの夜ユーマさんに助けてもらった時が残り時間1ヶ月くらいでした。そして今はもう残り時間は
Never mind, it's not been a month.
1週間あるかないかです。
A week. Can't comprehend the words that are coming out of her mouth. No. It's not that I can't. I simply don't want to. She's gonna die. She's actually going to die. Kana. The girl standing before me who's long since forgotten both her name and her way home. But she's never gotten the intense fear of death she has.
私は私の人生に立ち向かう。頭の中のあれの意志には支配されない。
I mean, she's not gonna die instantly when the larvae hatch. Like he has the time to heal her. Probably. Maybe. Possibly. It'd be grotesque. It'd be scarring for life. He'll have a trauma after it, most likely. But he should still be able to heal her.
そう決めて、あの灯台から飛び降りました。それが自由への意思表示なんだって。でも、その結論に至るまでには、しばらく時間がかかりました。だって、私はまだ本当の意味では希望を捨てられていなかった。ユマさん、あなたが私を守ってくれるって約束してくれていたから。だからこの町へ戻ってきた私は、どこへも行くところのなかった私は、5日間くらいをあの灯台で過ごしました。
5 whole days.
はい。きっと夜になれば魔法使いさんが私に会いに来てくれる。だってあの人は魔法使いだから。10年の時間をふっと簡単に飛び越えるくらいの不思議があってもいいはずだから。もしもあなたに会うことができれば、それだけで私は頭の中の意地悪から助けてもらえると思っていました。そうして食べられてしまった思い出も私はもしかすると取り返せるかもしれない。そうなれば私はお家までの帰り道を思い出してお母さんにも会いに行ける。でも
I never did come. She nods. Slept out there for 5 whole days.
野宿。そうですね。そういうことになるのかもしれません。
Sorry if I don't realize sooner.
いいえ、そんな、やめてください。そんな悲しい顔しないでください、ユマさん。ユマさんにそんな風に思ってもらいたくてこの話をしようと思ったんじゃない。食べ物を探して山道を何日もかけて歩いた時はよく野宿をしてました。だから外で寝るのは慣れてます。平気です。そんなに辛くはありませんでした。
Smiles
辛
broadly.
いどころかむしろよく眠れたくらいです。
What? A place like that? Yeah, well, yeah, she didn't have to fucking fear the creatures showing
は
up.
い。だってこの町には私を追いかけてくる怖い誰かも、そして言葉にはできない頭の中のあれもいない。5日間泥のように寝てました。あの灯台のレンズ室で。10年分の安心を得られたような気がしたんです。未だ頭の中に不自由を飼ってはいるけれど、それでもやっと何かに解放されたような気がしていたんです。
Can I ask you something, Kana?
はい。
The job you were going to request me, or by chance going to ask me to remove those butterflies from here.
はい。こんな意地悪をユマさんに退治してもらって私を自由にしてほしい。
I see.
これはユーマさんのお仕事の不自由を自由に向かわせる逃がし屋さんのお仕事の範疇ではないですか？
Not sure. Should science falls as I mull it over.
難しいですか？魔法使いさんにもできないことがありますか？
Focus on Kana's my hand, which I hold. This magic has the ability to make the burden on her mind a tiny fraction easier to bear, but still, I'm sorry. I thought about whether or not I could use the magic to shift that curse inside your mind to mine, but I can't. My magic doesn't seem to be capable of that.
ダメ。
She tries to let go of my hand.
ダメですよ。
Kana,
私はユーマさんに助けてもらいたいけれど、でも その結果としてユマさんが苦しんでしまうようなことになっては意味がないんです。
Well, don't worry. I have a way to solve this. He just lays her down in bed, just like strokes her head, just pulls a nearby lever. Fucking crush hammer comes down, demolishes her head without a trace left. Within a split second, comes back up. He heals her again. Those larvae are dead now, probably. What just happened? Oh, you. Oh yeah. Your head got smashed like a watermelon. Why? Well, they're in your brain, so I just assumed you'd break that and they'll die as well. And I, could just only heal you. But they're still in there. Well, there goes that plan.
これまで私が頑張って規則を守って誰にも相談できなかったことも無駄になってしまいます。私は誰かが幸せになるために誰かが犠牲にならないといけないなんて、そんなのは絶対嫌なんです。
Right.
はい。だから私はアクさんを止めたかったんだと思います。あの方を何とか説得して儀式をやめさせることができたなら、それで私も頭の中の何かに勝てるような気がしていたんです。誰かの幸せのために命を捧げる人柱。ハクさんは商人の町のために、私はあの異界に住む者たちのために。そんな理不尽な何もかもに立ち向かい勝利することが私の戦いなんだって、そう思っていたんです。
Fight against. Think about what that simple phrase entails. How can I fight against the reality of Kana's fate? Take a deep breath. The smell of disaffected pervades through the air. It's the magic, Jinkish power being used on Kana's mind. Feeling aching pain deep in my chest. Then, the very next moment...
怖い。死ぬのが怖い。
Voice seeps through my mind.
頭の中に知らない誰かが住んでいる。どうしよう。この頃、頭の中がもぞもぞし始めた。気持ち悪い。吐き気がする。怖い。怖い。死ぬのは怖いよ。
That terror pours into my mind. That was the burden that was weighing on Kana's mind. Let go of her hand. Well, you feel at least a little better now? I gather myself to force the best smile I can muster. My chest, my mind, everything is quivering. I feel chills throughout my entire body.
すごい。ユマさんは本当に魔法使いなんですね。すごいです。ずっと考えてきた怖いことがなんだか少し軽くなったような気がします。今ならこの紙の中身を確認できそうな気がします。
Oh, really? That's great.
ありがとうございます。ユマさんは本当にすごいです。
I'm really not. She's one who braved through it all. Fear and terror, never ending, knowing you're going to die. She's kept this overwhelming fear locked inside her chest for 10 whole years. She had to live every day knowing that she might not wake up to see tomorrow. I'm sorry. This power isn't even worthy of the title of magic. I can't even do a single thing to truly save you. Even if you can rid you of some of your mental pain, it's only temporary. It doesn't solve the underlying issue in any ways whatsoever. An agonizing terror might reappear tomorrow morning.
いいえ、誰かの心を勇気づけることのできる力だなんて本当に素敵だって思います。一時的だっていい。そのおかげで私はお母さんに伝えられるかもしれません。ごめんなさいを。
She grips the scrap of paper in her hand.
もう直接お母さんにそれを伝えられないかもしれないけれど、でも言わなくちゃいけないんだ。 さっきまでの私はその勇気がどうしても湧いてこなかったけれど、でも今ならこの紙を開いて中を確認するくらいは。
She smiles, and then, Kana. She grips the paper with trembling hands. Kana, what's the matter?
どうしよう、ユマさん。私やっぱりダメ。まだ怖い。ごめんなさい、嘘です。確かに心は少し軽くなったけど、怖いのも薄くはなったけど、中身を確認できない。
The hands tremble as they grip the paper.
どうしてもこの紙を開けない。手が震えてダメなんです。
You know, there's likely not going to be a CG here, so I'm just gonna use this as the thumbnail. There we go.
知ってしまうのが怖い。お母さんの今現在。お母さんはもうこの世には。
Fucking mosquitoes. She's dead. She's no longer on this world. I feel a sharp sting in my chest. It's as if the pain I'd taken from Kana is throbbing in response to her
ご
fear.
めんなさい。ごめんなさい、ユマさん。せっかく魔法を使ってもらったのに、これを開いたら泣いちゃいそうです。誰かの前で泣くのだけは避けなくちゃいけないのに。
I get it. If she reads the information the Seekling brought back, she'll cry. That's why she locked the door, so that nobody could see her tears.
まだ勇気が足りない。私にはこの紙の中身を見て泣かない自信がない。
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kana. The magic wasn't powerful enough to help you. She buries her hands in her face in her hands and sobs in between words.
お願いします、ユマさん。少しだけでいい。一人にしてください。じゃないと私、今にもここで泣いてしまいそうです。
Okay. Cry your heart out, Kana. Before you even look at what that paper says, cry and sob all you need to. Cry until you run out of tears. And where if that piece of paper really does end up confirming your fears, you might not have the tears left to cry anymore.
そんなことできませんよ。少なくとも今ここでは。
Word they'll transmit to me? She silently nods. In that case.
部屋を出ていてもらえますか。私が泣き終わるまで
Sorry, but no.
ほんの少しでいいですから。
Shake my head. Sorry, Kana, I just can't fully trust you.
ユマさん。
I'm worried about what you might do if I leave you here to wallow in a sea of sadness. You've already tried to take your own life more than once, even if you tell me you'll be alright. I'm sorry, but I can't take that at face value. Can't leave you all by yourself right now, even if you tell me to. I've already seen firsthand that my magic wasn't adequate enough to heal your pain.
そんなことは。
I'm not leaving you all by yourself, Kana.
どうしてそんな。それじゃあ私、この中身を確認できません。
Hold on. Does this have like a... No, it doesn't. Is there like a fucking note anywhere? Whatever, stuck like one here. It is slightly covered in fucking dust, but he just goes like, just fucking give me this. Stop being a baby.
もしも想像通りの悲しいことが書いてあったら、私は絶対に我慢できずに泣いてしまいます。ユーマさんに私の涙であれを映してしまうかもしれない。
Might just be a baseless superstition that you're not allowed to cry, you know.
それでも用心するのに越したことはないから。
Alright, I give you permission to infect me then. I'll gladly take away those parasitic butterflies that live in your head for you. Who knows, maybe we'll even be able to save you that way.
だからそんなことをしてユーマさんが私の代わりに苦しむようじゃ。
I'm a sorcerer, Kana. It's no big deal to me. I'm sure I could find a way to deal with it myself. I want to save you, Kana. I want to help you and keep you safe. Even if that means putting myself at risk, I'm willing to do that. Just let me have this. I want you to cry in front of me. In your own words, Kana. That is what it means to fight against something. I'm not scared of the slightest. If this is what it means to truly save you, then so be it.
ダメですよ。死ぬことはとっても怖いことですよ。
I know, I've reaped some of that fear from you, so I have a bit of understanding of what it feels like. Let's not forget the fact that he's also, like, died a couple of times. Like, there's literal death on, you know, being impaled multiple times under pain. However, there's also the fact that he has died figuratively, continuously, day after day, over and over and over and over and over again during his childhood.
怖さを
Yeah. I hate it, Kana. I hate having to watch that suffering take its toll on your heart. Look, I'll be fine. I'm a sorcerer. I can handle everything that's worrying. That's what it takes to cure Kana, that I have no qualms whatsoever. So please, Kana, I want you to have reservations about crying in front of me. Let it all out. Please, Kana, I'm begging you. Kana Yuma, Kana, I'm the sorcerer whom you've never stopped believing in. The sorcerer will save you. So please let me fulfill my role. So even just a tiny bit braver after letting out all your tears. And we can open that letter together. If you're too scared to look at it by yourself, then doing it with someone else by your side might make it somewhat more bearable. She weeps, clutching her stomach tightly, hunching over with her face down.
ユマさん
Yeah?
お願いします。ユマさん魔法使いさん私にもう一度だけ勇気をください。
With those words, she buries her face into my chest.
私泣きます。
Okay. There still seems to be hesitation lingering. She wraps her arms around my back and clings to me in silence. It's okay, I'll use my magic to send everything that's scaring you far, far away. So just let out all your tears. Hold on tightly to her trembling body. She weeps and weeps, wailing as though she's letting out 10 years' worth of tears. Oh, they fucked 100%. They goddamn fucked. You cannot tell me that they did not do the dirty. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And why do I continuously end my parts on fucking screens that don't have music yet? I'm going to... literally, all this will do is make it so I have to constantly do the... to make sure my goddamn headset doesn't turn off. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you next time. Bye.